Hi there viewers, it's the Extraordinary Tourist. Today I thought I'd do something a bit different with my videos. And what I'm going to attempt to do is try and come up with the sketch for the design of my next painting within the time of this video. As you can see, I've got my little visual art diary out here, and what I plan to do is another painting, dog painting. This is the sketch of the last dog painting that I did, and to try and sort of speed up the process, I'm going to base my new design on this dog and perhaps just draw the same dog in a different position. So as you can see, there is the sketch from my last painting, just so you can get a good look at that. I'll be basing my new sketch for the latest painting on that. I've got about 10 minutes to try and come up with something, and I'll try and talk as I'm going, but hopefully you'll get something out of this, and hopefully you'll see that coming up with ideas is not necessarily always as hard as what it might seem, and you can especially shortcut that simply by taking some of your old ideas and perhaps looking at them in a new way. So here we go. I was thinking maybe I could do the same dog chasing after a ball instead of a frisbee this time. I do have some ideas in mind, and it's probably very likely that this could well look very similar to the last sketch and not be all that different at all, but I don't know, we'll see what happens. It is a bit hard to sort of talk while you're trying to come up with an idea, considering that my mind has to be thinking about what I'm drawing, and by talking I'm distracting myself from the thinking process. But I like to draw my animals in really extreme and sort of very crazy looking positions that somehow look like they might be possible, and you may have seen maybe your dog or your cat, which is what I normally draw more often, but you may have sort of seen your dog or cat in those positions or a similar one in some way, and in that way it makes it look halfway believable. So that's what I try and do. Don't know if you can make that out. Somehow I've got to put a ball into this so that it kind of looks like this dog is going to catch the ball in some way or other. I like my dog and cat paintings to be sort of fun and humorous and have a kind of maybe an uplifting sort of effect on people when they view it, and a lot of time people sort of look at my art and say it's not sort of very meaningful, it's just sort of illustrative and it doesn't have much to say. But if you look at art as being something that when people view it you're trying to get an emotion of some description out of them, if I can get people to smile or just really enjoy the image, then I've pretty much succeeded in what I was trying to do. And for me, that's what art is all about. Art doesn't have to be deep and meaningful and thoughtful. It can be light-hearted and fun, and pretty much just be there to raise a smile. It doesn't always have to be about deep and meaningful or political subjects. So, as you can see, I'm actually pretty happy with just what I've come up with here. If you're sort of wondering about being an artist and how hard it can sometimes be just to come up with ideas and that, this is probably making it seem like it's really simple, but I actually did have quite a head start before I started drawing. I've been thinking about what my next dog painting might be sort of for a couple of days, so it's not like I just sat down and pretty much did this. I'm sort of thinking that this dog needs to have a bit of a tongue sort of flying out somewhere. I'm not too sure about that though, but I'll put one in. But once you get a bit practice, and because I'm working with an established character, it does take a lot of the sort of thinking time out of it. So you can sort of get a load of that. See, that's roughly what my next painting is going to be. Sometimes art really is just that simple.